Being a parent means hearing someone creeping around at 2 a.m. and hoping it's just a ghost and not your kid getting up again.
Sauron invading Pippin's mind. Realizes he literally knows nothing.
The treasure we stole from the dragon's hoard has some kind of tracking spell. I'd hate to be caught with any of it.
Paladin that donated their cut to an orphanage.
Good enough.
Last night, my daughter said my wife's gourmet tomato basil soup tastes like yucky, and gagged and gagged and cried. But this morning, she said, "You make toast that tastes like magic." And it didn't have butter on it. And that's everything you need to know about feeding children.
Dad, I just turned 36. At your age, Boromir was 38. Necrobotany is such a cool idea, like druidic nature magic plus necromancy. Undead skeletons being supported by plant fibers to make up for missing muscles and ligaments so they can run instead of shamble. Turning said skeletons into multi-limbed monstrosities with vine arms. Or piecing together bones and limbs with vines to make fleshier monsters. Adding thorns or huge Venus flytraps or poison onto minions. Undead exploding into petals and leaves like a smokescreen. Or infecting opponents with disease from pollen. Suffocating opponents from the stench of rotten minions, and corpse flowers. If we started burying the dead with their shoelaces tied together, we wouldn't have to worry about a zombie apocalypse anymore.
I assume this is the way this boy was in my belly.
I'm 87.
I'm 140.
I'm 2,931.
Let's run for 3 days.
Hey, that whole praying for our enemies thing, Can I do that with you? What? Really? Heck yeah, you want to do it right now? Actually, yeah. I even have a prayer I've been working on.
Go for it.
Oh, Lady Tamora, please bestow upon our enemies good fortune and wealth, so that we may recover sweet loot after we kill them, and... You're impossibly fast when I'm not looking. You refuse to eat. You don't sleep. I know what you are.
Say it out loud.
A toddler.
The funniest thing that's ever happened to me as a parent is once my 2-year-old was having a full-on meltdown and accidentally kicked an electronic toy dinosaur and it went, "Can you feed me?" And my son, through massive sobs, goes, "No, I can't right now, dinosaur!" and continued screaming.
The Princess Bride is exactly what a D&D campaign would look like as a movie. Like, the delightfully weird cast of characters with their own quirks, the strange pacing and narrative that still works, the absolute absurdity of it all, the jumping back and forth between wanting to be serious and it being really funny. It's even told like a D&D story through the use of the grandfather being the one telling the story. What a fantastic movie. Also, like the character backstories are such D&D backgrounds, like, I'm out for revenge for my father who was killed by a guy with 6 fingers on one of his hands.
I bumped into a band of pirates and their leader liked me so much he ended up having me take on his title to retire.
That is the exact stuff that people come up with for D&D characters. Having narrowly escaped Humperdinck, you find yourself in the dangerous fire swamps.
Do I know anything about this area? Any danger?
Roll a history check.
15.
You know of rumors of giant rats in the swamps as well as quicksand.
What do I know about the giant rats?
Roll nature. Nat 1. Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist. Hey, what's your passive perception? All moms gave birth to a child. Except my mom. She gave birth to a legend. High five, Mom.
You might think the important childhood milestones are walking and talking, but they're actually things like can be left alone for 5 minutes, can fetch their own snack, and can puke in a receptacle instead of all over their bed.
The ring cannot be destroyed by any craft that we here possess. Just throw it in my stew. You are paralyzed from the neck down. Your arch nemesis walks into the room brandishing a sword.
Can I test for intimidation?
You may. My feed be like...
Cookie Monster has forward-facing eyes mounted high upon his head. This suggests Cookie Monster is a submerged ambush predator. Just something to consider.
Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, and Chronicles of Narnia are isekai. Classical literature fans?
It is annoying that every year they try the same. What are you talking about? This is the first time we tried to storm Area 51. Area 51 guards.
Girls. Oh no, I don't have anything to wear. Boys.
Don't play with superglue. Dr. Spock. Name one popular queen. Freddie Mercury. Win.
Blimey, it's him, Victor Crumb.
Can you pass me the Worcestershire sauce? The what? The Worcestershire sauce. Are you having a stroke? The Worcestershire sauce.
You only live once. Lick the bowl. Leave the sign in the kitchen where it belongs.
Why are there no night museums? There are 3 movies explaining what happens at night to the museums.
Me doing something I'm perfectly capable of and have done before, but someone decides to watch.
None of y'all know what propaganda actually is, do you? It's when a British person takes a good look at something. You cannot rest here. Have you ever played a video game where you have to sleep to recover? They only let you do it if everything is safe. Otherwise, they won't let you sleep. You'll get a message saying, "You cannot sleep now. There are monsters nearby." Now, remember the last time you just couldn't get to sleep? I do. Don't you do this to me.
Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 for sales, 5 for customer service, or press 6 to hear these options again.
Pretty sure a fairy lives here. When your neck hurts. I've been tired for 5 years. That's how old I am. Oh, weird.
Europeans when someone smiles instead of scalometers.
My wife and I are sitting on the couch watching TV, and I hear a text. Realizing I left my phone in the kitchen, I get up, go to the kitchen to check it, and it's a text from my wife. Please bring the chips on your way back. What's normal at 3 p.m. but terrifying at 3 a.m.? The sound of an ice cream truck.
Me as a parent trying to hide my snacks from the unemployed lazy people in my house. Crouches to go into stealth.
The cracking of my knees alerts the guards. I am immediately killed. What I love about coaching youth sports is seeing kids learn lessons they'll use for a lifetime. My daughter's soccer team thinks the best part is the drinks and snacks after the game, and that's something that will be true about snacks and drinks for the rest of their lives. It's a girl.
Call her Sandra.
Oh, that's a good burn. When your kid makes a friend at the park, but now you're stuck talking to the parents. I am uncomfortable. Parents used to tell my brother and I that we had another brother who turned into a mushroom from not taking a bath. Even added him to the family albums. I identify heavily with the seagull because if I was gifted the miracle of flight, I too would probably just use it to steal french fries all day long. Gryffindor house.
Hermione answering questions right.
Lag. When you misclick in Minecraft.
Tonight, we will try a human call and hope for a response. Sweet Caroline. You heard that? It was a human.
I don't know. Could be a bird.
That awkward moment when Lord Voldemort has a sister. She even has the dark mark on her cup.
Yzma, is that you?
Can you give me your position?
I'm next to a cloud that looks like a lion.
Can you be more specific?
Simba. Prepare to be
Heavy!
Sometimes I blow on my ice cream before I take a bite. Have no idea why. Brain, food is very temperature. Also brain, no worry, learn from soup, know what do.
I can't wait to show you my baby. He's the cutest. The baby.
Pangolins are cute because they always look like they're about to hesitantly present some bad news to their sovereign lord.
Pardon me, sire. My liege, if I may. The prisoners, they've escaped.
Sorry, I can't go out tonight. I have so much to do. Takes quiz to see what kind of pizza I am. Ocarina of Time. Nintendo says it's E for everyone. The poor 7-year-olds who played this game say otherwise. Shaved Keanu looks like he's about to take 50 points from Gryffindor. Blue cheese lovers eating literal mold, trying to tell you it tastes good. Do you know what sound a dog makes? Bow wow. A cat says, meow. And a ferret says, my father will hear about this. She likes to collect rocks. Even ignoring the fact that Gandalf received the White Staff in Lorien and it was presumably made by Galadriel, a student of Aule the craftsman, while wearing Nenya the protection ring, the Witch King shouldn't even be able to break a random powerless stick of Gandalf's because he is one of the most powerful Maiar. Gandalf the Grey was able to beat a Balrog, who is also a Maiar, but Gandalf the White, who is more powerful, can't face the Witch King? The Witch King was only a human, made into an undead servant by Sauron, while Gandalf the White was more powerful than Galadriel herself. Why was he cowering on the ground, shaking in fear? Easy explanation. Middle-earth uses natural 1 critical fail rules for skill checks and saving throws. After 7 years, my slingshot and boomerang have both rotted. Oh sweet, I still have some milk. On June 3rd, a rare event known as the Parade of Planets will occur, where 6 planets of the solar system will align in a straight line, visible just before sunrise. Nope. Last time this happened, a bunch of Titans were released. I can't have another apocalypse in my life. How to burn thousands of calories in just a few minutes. My dice. Rolling badly. Me. Puts them in dice jail. My dice. Rolls well after being freed. Do you think it's honor that keeps them in line? It's fear. Fear and blood. The vet needed to shave my baby's legs for the anesthesia, and now she just has little boots on. Met Gala invite when? She got the boots with the fur. How can I impress your dad? He's really into cars. Okay. Nice to meet you. Let's talk about Pixar's finest movie. Link on his way to a sky island. Everyone at Schrodinger's funeral looking at his coffin. I feel presentation is as important as the meal itself. So, what's in the bag?
Positive Possum believes you can do the thing.
Do you ever just crave someone's presence? Like you would literally be happy sitting next to them in silence?
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear.
Oh no, he's hot! Let this be the hour when we draw swords together. Me working up the courage to tell my calorie counting app that I ate an entire birthday cake. He a little confused, but he got the spirit. This horse looks like a pale emo kid in a black hoodie. When someone asks what's the story behind all those memes with the anime girl and her dog, trust me on this one, you don't want to know. Audrey, don't tell him. You shouldn't have told me, but you did, and now I'm telling you. You don't want to know. The only Halloween decoration in my neighborhood that actually scared me. Had to climb to higher ground immediately. The I'm an American and here's all I know about Australian culture starter pack. The perfect steak. This isn't even well done. This is congratulations. Well, at least unicorn is real. Queso equals Spanish for cheese. Que-so equals Southern for here's the plan and y'all probably not gonna like it. This was your father's arm. I meant to grab his lightsaber, but by the time I noticed, it was a little too late to go back. But you never know, maybe it'll be useful later. A little girl who grows up thinking all doors are automatic, but actually she's haunted by a really polite ghost. So chivalry is dead? You win best response to this post. Did you sleep well? Me. The Tesla logo is just a kitty's nose. At Elon Musk, is this true? Yes. Interviewer. So why do you want this job? Me. Well, I've always felt passionately about not starving to death. Kids these days will never know the hardships of each week having to overcook a fresh hard-boiled egg yolk for the computer mouse. New options to shorten names. Jennifer, Niffer. Elizabeth, Zabe. Jonathan, Onath. Christopher, Stop. Hannah, Nah. Brooklyn, Oakley. Leonardo, Nard. Brandon, Rando. Theodore, Odor. When I successfully guess my password for an account I haven't logged in for a long time. I'm still worthy! Deleting my dating apps because I want to meet someone the old-fashioned way. Bargaining for their release from an Egyptian prison because they know the location of Hamunaptra. My houseplant's watching me put water in the espresso machine. I am Iron Can. Brain cell 1. Say have a nice day. Brain cell 2. Nah, say have a good one. Mouth. Haven't guys done? When the store is quiet, then suddenly a huge queue forms and you're the only cashier. Candles are how we keep fires as pets. This is unnecessarily adorable. Coward should really mean to move in the direction of a cow. Moves an image 2/10,000th millimeters in Word. Entire text I edited for 4 hours. The name's Pond. When you're doing a recording session but have to wait for your cat to finish using the litter box. When going fishing, take an action figure with you. It will make your catch look amazing. When the Geonosians give you the bill for all those battle droids. This is a shipping ship. Shipping ships. You saw your quarry run into the tavern. We follow them in. Roll me some perception checks. All fail. You have lost sight of them. Wait! I have a solution for this. They've probably used invisibility on themselves. I upcast Glitter Bomb as a 6th level spell. There's no way they can hide from that. Everyone else in the tavern. The number plate, the chemical equation for glucose. The car is called Cube. This is a giant sugar cube. Welcome to adulthood. You get mad when they rearrange the grocery store now. When you fart in an aisle at the store and you walk away hearing the screams of your victims. When you leave the store without buying anything. Act natural, you've done nothing wrong. When your YouTube channel gets 100 subscribers. Famous. Anime characters with glasses be like... Cooking spinach. Don't forget, after the fireworks, leave out cookies and milk for Captain America. Thought I went colorblind for a second. Haven't unlocked that part of the shop yet. You do not know the power of the dark side. Mr. Spock, I told you wearing that cloak does not make you a Sith Lord. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Nick Fury. When the IRS starts to question the motorhome you rode off for a business expense. When your lockpick skill is too low. Open sesame! This looks like Peter sent them some stupid meme and is watching their reaction. Thor is still trying to understand what a meme is, and Steve is just proud he unlocked his phone. Fire. Ice. Everything nice. Daddy issues. Why can't we all agree where the X button goes? You know what's adorable? Jafar gave Iago his own little hat when he became the evil sultan. A very short Star Wars meta. In the first movie, when Leia got rescued, she was expecting some kind of military operatives with things like a plan and an exit strategy and a working vehicle. This is why she was so salty about instead being rescued by basically the Duke brothers and an angry carpet in a past warranty space Winnebago. Like when the bad guys captured Diplomat, you're supposed to send Mission Impossible, not Cheech and Chong. Leia wanted a full D&D party, and what she got was a rogue with no bluff, a wizard who left his spell sheet at home, and a barbarian who made charisma his highest score. The international symbol for... Maybe I'll make 2 sandwiches. I'm not sure yet. My grandpa got bitten by a spider and he was really upset, so I went to get some cream, but before I could leave the room, I heard him say, "At this age, I can't handle the responsibility of being a Spider-Man." Floating Tent sleeps 4 and offers a cool new way to die while camping. When you ignore the main quest to play a side one. Do you go biking? Me. My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count. Twice the pride, double the fall. Me leaving my house at 8:15 hoping that I make it to work by 8 o'clock. Captain America always looks like a bird just flew away with his hot dog. Oh look, a penny. Media saying video games cause violence. Me building a house for my wife and kids in Skyrim. Someone is clearly a genius. Space could be filled with vampires, but we would never know because telescopes use mirrors. I bet that suitcase is jam-packed. I was applying for Australian citizenship and the interview asked, "Do you have a criminal record?" I said, "No, is that still required?" That's how everyone else got in, mate. Scientists find 30 potential new species at bottom of deep sea using robots. This is worrying. We've only started using robots ourselves. I needed this so much today. Hi, Dublin News. My 3-year-old wanted to know how you decide which buses get to sleep inside the depot garage and which have to sleep out in the yard. Hi, Matthew. We have rang around to a few of the depots, and we can confirm that all buses are loved equally and take turns sleeping inside the warm depot. Those sleeping outside are given cocoa to keep warm. When you're sleeping at your friend's house and they don't give you a blanket. Karanos. Once she gathers all 6 infinity scarves, no manager is safe.
Why do you keep opening the fridge?
There may be something there that wasn't there before. The Beatles. The Beatles. Me every time the sky is pretty. Ancient skull found on archaeological dig is proof of our alien origins. As you can see, the larger trucks form a protective barrier around the infants of the herd. Nature is beautiful. When cowbell isn't enough. There is no way of knowing if the cat is dead or alive until you open the box.
Shush! Me fake sleeping in the car so I can get carried inside.
Uber driver. Finding emo. No, Dad, you just don't understand me.
Is that Kuzon? Kissing his mom?
Someone, in real life, on the internet, once told me the story of someone who reads AF as foretold. As in, this taco is spicy AF, was read as, this taco is spicy, as foretold. I don't remember who it was, but I am here to thank them. I now also read it this way. Ominous positivity. You will be okay. You have no choice. Everything will turn out fine. You cannot stop it. You will succeed. It is inevitable. Happiness is coming. You can't escape. Mr. Bean's family. Expectation. Reality. My husband has ruined Hamilton for me. He sang Adam Sandler in place of Alexander once, and I can't hear half the songs the same anymore. But when I fantasize at night, it's Adam Sandler's eyes. Congrats again, Adam Sandler. Smile more. Go home, Adam Sandler. That's an order from your commander. Why would you do this to me? Misery loves company. Great, now I gotta share this with my friends so I don't have to suffer alone. When you start cleaning but get distracted by all the cool stuff you find.
People before Isaac Newton invented gravity. People now. When you compare the size of a gummy worm versus a gummy bear, it starts to paint a horrific picture of the gummy universe.
Mama of Littles, as it warms up, I just wanted to share a parenting hack with you. If you fold popsicles over a cup before you put it in the freezer, you will have a toddler-sized popsicle with an easy and clean-cut line.
What is that? A Balrog, a demon from the ancient world.
Isn't he beautiful?
My sister's cat lost her upper canine teeth, and this is her permanent face now.
Once upon a time, there were 3 brothers. Their land could not hold all their egos, so they divided their kingdom into 3. One ruled over the elves, one over the goblins, and the third over wizards. Headcanon accepted.
My French bulldog and her French fries.
Does anyone know what to do when your dog deflates? Is there a special pump or something?
No pain like a dad losing his muffin to a cat. First rule of programming. If it works, don't touch it. Best friends grew up together.
This is what happens when you give Red Bull to a woodpecker.
It's so nice my kid is playing so quietly. My child nonchalantly walking out of the kitchen. My daughter was doing her history homework and asked me what I knew about Galileo. I said, he was a poor boy from a poor family. When you stare into the void, and the void stare back. When you need to clean but have no motivation, so you just sit there for a while, like... Charlie is a cable tech for Comcast down in Georgia. To my supervisor. So, here's the deal. The pole is unsafe to climb. Yes, it's unsafe. No, I'm not trying to get out of work. A dog ate the pole. Yes, a dog. Yes, ate the pole. No, I'm not joking. No, I don't need to pee in a cup. Yes, I'm serious. A dog has eaten the pole. Sir, can I call you back? The dog is looking at me. Wow. If you look closely, you can see that the Olympics is actually set in the same cinematic universe as Ratatouille. When your kid refuses to eat breakfast but asks for a snack 5 minutes later. I'm not saying a word without my lawyer present. You are the lawyer. So where's my present? My dad is recovering from an operation. Mom went out and left the door slightly ajar. My parents do not have a cat. An experiment in which a 1000 degrees Celsius iron ball was placed on the skin of a discarded pineapple. So, fresh pineapple skin is suitable outer armor for fighting dragons. I've seen all I need to. No more testing needed. That's a weird dragon. Shut up! I love her! Media. The average adult spends $255 per year on their hobbies. Me. You need to brush your hair. Why? Guy who invented the clock. There will be 12 numbers on it. Friend. So the day will be divided into 12 segments?
No, 24.
So will the day start at 1?
The day will start at the 12, which is at night. The 6 means 30.
I bought this blanket and waited for weeks. He finally sat inside it!
I just cleaned the house, so if you all could stop living here, that'd be great.
Mom, can we buy a new monitor? No, we have a monitor at home. Monitor at home.
I need everyone to know that the ship Göteborg, the world's largest ocean-going wooden sailing ship, answered a distress call the other day.
Imagine waiting for the Coast Guard or whatever to show up, and instead a replica of 18th century merchant ship pulls up and tows you to the coast.
Doctor, as I understand, Jim is not the captain's actual first name. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is a nickname, I guess. Well, a shortened version of his name.
I see. And what is it short for?
Keeps a straight face. Jimothy. 90s kids moving PC from one room to the other. First ever photograph of a newly hatched electrician with the eggshell still on top of its head. Safe from all harm. Extreme risk of boogeyman attack. As you can see here, the mother gently picks its young up by the scruff of its neck to move it out of harm's way. I bet he's thinking about honing his psychic abilities. I am. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it up a bit so it doesn't look obvious you copied. Okay. Me when a helicopter passes over. Age 7, age 25. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have any more passwords left in me. Arkansas is a landlocked state, but you can travel south to every state that it borders. Whoa! If anyone needs me, I'll be in the Angry Dome. I heard this kid yelling for his dad at Lowe's. I went looking for him and... Your phone with 1% battery life using the Face ID unlock feature. I know your face. A woman is stunned when her new driver's license came back with a picture of an empty chair. This is absolutely sending me.
Interesting way to discover that you're a vampire.
You're probably wondering why I've gathered you all here today.
My brothers, I have found it.
No one. Daniel Radcliffe and Goblet of Fire.
Theme parks, spending a fortune to stand in line for the privilege of sitting down.
Do you want to be my friend? Sorry, but I only see you as a boyfriend. Task failed successfully.
Me replying back 2 weeks later. I'm good. How are you? When I see my boyfriend is depressed.
Love. Care.
Me choosing a song before I start cleaning the house.
Excuse me, Professor Quirrell, would I be able to borrow wood?
You would indeed.
I would?
Yes, I'm sure you would.
That would be wonderful indeed. There's wood, just waiting for the two of them to stop.
Me snacking on salty chips and petting my cat. My cat who just spent an hour grooming.
First date versus 2 years into the relationship.
Bean likes to be carried around in empty soda cases. When you're obsessed with your man,
Close your eyes. But I like you.
Dinosaur supervisor, Phil Tippett. Phil, this wasn't amateur hour. People died because of your lack of supervision. There were raptors all up in the kitchen, Phil. In the kitchen! Everyone on the internet thinks they could be a better dino supervisor. But you weren't there.
My name is Harry Potter. Voldemort.
A hand changes everything.
At least invite me out to dinner.
I don't go out with married women. Sorry.
But I'm your wife!
I make no exceptions.
Being bad at drawing hands. Me, AI art generators. When Bay tries to be cute with you after he made you mad and you're like,
Welcome to Hogwarts, the place where I will treat you equally. Hello, Harry. Nice glasses. 50 points to Gryffindor.
Crazy to think they built a city on just these two things.
How you look at her when y'all first meet versus how you look at her after 2 years because you love her and she makes you happy.
How good you are in mathematics. Me.
when I stare at my man in awe and he catches me. Frodo! Please, Sam, no, not again. If I take one more step, I'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
Daniel Radcliffe's is Igor in Frankenstein. So basically what Harry would have looked like if Lily had married Snape.
When people sing happy birthday to you and you just sit there like...
Every time you talk to your wife, you should always remind yourself, this conversation will be recorded for training and quality purposes.
Oh, a squirrel.
Oh, a William Shatner!
My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not the one who married me.
What if that was your house? What if a sheep lives off the grass on your house?
She's my landlord. Lamblord.
If I were Harry Potter, I would have addressed Voldemort as Tim Riddle. He'd be like, "It's Tom Riddle. Also, it's not Tom Riddle. It's Voldemort." Classic Tim.
Candle warmer? Nah, son, queso warmer.
My wife doing anything? Me.
When you're reading and someone tries to talk to you. When your boyfriend isn't with you.
I don't remember if I was 34 or 35 before my birthday, so now I don't know if I'm 35 or 36. That's your 30s.
You may use any means to rescue your captive.
Hermione. Victor Crumb.
The amount of sass in this picture is overwhelming.
Are you involved in any dangerous sports?
Well, sometimes I disagree with my wife.
I regret to inform you that, due to a Goofy movie coming out in '95, these two bonding over 70s memorabilia, in modern context, is like two 30-somethings geeking out over a Tamagotchi then planning a date to go play DDR Extreme 8th Mix.
When you don't want to cuddle because it's too hot, but you still want to touch your boyfriend.
A Soviet orange. We clearly see two different things. Anyway, give it to me. I need to find the rest.
Perhaps Voldemort's nose is flat because he ran into the wrong train station wall. Gentlemen, can I interest you in a Shrike Kachowski? When you tell everyone the story how you fell in love with your girl, she be looking like...
Sherlock Preschool Edition. A clue!
When you're trying to be mad at your husband, but you know in his own weird way he's a good man and you are a little crazy sometimes.
Float like a butterfly.
Done.
Sting like a bee. I am nailing this. Empty your mind. Be formless. Shapeless. Like water. I could not be any more mindless or like water.
Harry Potter named all of his kids like some nerd who had just finished reading all the Harry Potter books.
Retire the red shirt way.
Professor Quirrell in The Sorcerer's Stone waiting for Ron, Harry, and Hermione to finish playing chess.
Each dot represents 5,000 hogs. World Geography, 1948. Untapped infinite hog supply in the ocean. Each state is aligned with an impenetrable wall of swine. We are trapped. We've lost Canada and Mexico to the hogs already.
When I see people talking about how much their significant other annoys them. Can't relate. Say something smart, Kowalski. The word eldritch comes from the Middle English word elfrice, meaning fairyland, therefore making Cthulhu a fey creature.
When you sleeping with your man and he turn around hug you in his sleep.
The sun. Mercury. My finger. Close ad button. When they say there's plenty of fish in the sea, but she's your fish.
What size fry do you want?
Oh, just a small.
She'll have a large. Me.
Olympic cameraman stopped filming field hockey to focus on a cockroach in the game's final minutes. The whole ADHD community.
One of us.
In Paris, he actually goes by Le Lebron. Me, watching a sport I've never watched, don't know the rules, and didn't even know was part of the Olympics 5 minutes ago. What did Paris do with all the rats? Who do you think is cooking for the athletes? First time they've ever been on a boat that hasn't disappeared. Does Paris 24 want to speak to the manager? Olympic athlete. Makes one tiny mistake. Me. Pathetic. Guys, Parisian rats were watching the Gojira part of the Olympics opening. That's the catering team. In US culture, this translates to an obnoxious couple is having twins. All of us during the Olympics. If I had ever learnt, I should be a true proficient. A normal conversation. You can spell Tony as P-T-O-U-G-H-N-E-I-G-H. How did the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog become the typical sentence that contains all letters of the alphabet and not Sphinx of black quartz, judge my vow, which is objectively a million times cooler. If you step on a person's foot, they open their mouths just like trash cans. Why am I still laughing at this? When your child wakes up too early. Why are you crying? Because I didn't get enough sleep. Then why don't you go back to sleep? Because I'm too tired. Aang accidentally hits his head. All the previous Avatar. 4 nations exist peacefully. Fire Nation. And I took that personally. What shall we do with them, princess? Put them somewhere I'll never have to see their faces again and let them rot. But is Chan's outfit really sharp? She miscalculated. Migraine, hypertension, stress, the need to find the Avatar. We can all hear these pictures. No one can metal bend. Toph. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. There's something off about her. I can't explain it, but she's slipping. Azula. You're all fighting over the ponytail Zuko discourse, but let me introduce you to the cursed concept of pigtail Zuko. What happened, Gandalf? Why didn't you meet us? I am sorry, Frodo. I was delayed. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. So, do you have any plans for the fall? Just to clarify real quick, are you talking about autumn or the collapse of civilization? Which one do you want it to be? The other kids at Stuart Little's orphanage watching a family adopt a rat instead of them. Remember this little guy? He became a Jedi. I added eyebrows to Mark Zuckerberg. What do you think? When guys become dads, they're sorted into one of these 4 houses, like in Harry Potter. The DM's next encounter, waiting for the party to solve the 3rd grade riddle. This is my world, full of monsters, NPCs, and loot. What's that shadowy place over there? I haven't come up with that yet. DM playing the friendly NPCs. Also the DM playing the monsters. When you're DMing and you have a whole cast of NPCs ready. Players can't ruin your campaign if you don't prepare one. DM improvising an NPC. PCs.
What's your name?
I've got a name, and it's a good name, too.
Party.
I think we're on the right path.
The DM describing the path. Planning an RPG session and trying to guess everything your players might do and what you'll have to be prepared for. Let's sell our loot before we go on. You're in a swamp. You left town days ago. Please? Fine. You find a shop. The players discussing theories about how the campaign will end. The DM.
You know, we both have dead parents, wear masks and special suits, and save children. So that means we're basically Batman.
This is great. Can I have the recipe? The recipe is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
2,000 songs are as old now as 80 songs were in the 2000s.
Sorry about the cough. I'm a little hoarse. Don't ever say Godzilla never had help. Why did Star Wars episodes 4, 5, 6 come before 1, 2, 3?
Because in charge of planning Yoda was.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. When you have one foot in the stirrup and your horse starts walking away. Godzilla when Godzilla is destroying Japan. I've never been happier. Godzilla when literally anything else is destroying Japan. How dare you, King Ghidorah? A simple pod race. The complete destruction of the Jedi Order. During the filming of the first Jurassic Park movie, Steven Spielberg had extra children in case the dinosaurs ate one of them to not slow down production. Fabulous trot. And the horse is nice too. Nobody. 16H plus Bay Geldings. I am aware of the effect I have on women. The final weapon of mankind to deal with Godzilla. Corday. I'm not Corday. I'm Aerte. Yeah, whatever. You're still coming into work tomorrow, right? Since hair can't be preserved in fossils, we can't rule out the possibility that dinosaurs looked like this. This isn't funny. Quit horsing around. Only equestrians will understand. Behind the scenes of Godzilla 1998. Man, why didn't they just have this guy fight him off? Dude's huge. Average kaiju fight. Godzilla, Mothra. Godzilla, destroy the other kaiju, save the planet, get away from humans, find new place to live. Mothra, survive. Optional. I want to see Yoda's best duel. I said the best duel. Perfection. No, we cannot name our son Guitar Solo. In every artist's depiction of a meteor that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs, there's always one T-Rex looking up at it like, that can't be good. The size of the gates in Jurassic Park suggests they were always planning on letting the dinosaurs out. What's your strategy for this horse show? There's an old saying in show business, the show must go wrong. Everything always goes wrong, and you just have to deal with it. Missing horse! I miss my horse. He's not gone or anything. He's at the barn, and I'm not at the barn. Here's a picture of him. Ouch! I stepped on a Lego! Good morning, class. Today I'm going to tell you a story. It happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Let's begin with Chapter 4. None of you will be necessary. We found someone to complete the mission. I love Jurassic Park. The actual park or movies? The actual what? I can't shake the feeling I'm about to get eaten by a velociraptor at Target. Well, don't just stand there. Feed me horsey treats. Tell me I'm beautiful. Give me scritches. Clean my stall. Braid my hair. Exercise me. Do my nails. Brush me. Train me. Feed me. Love me. I am your faithful servant. Ha 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 ha. And yes, I am afraid of a small plastic bag.
Be careful who you call ugly in middle school. The Four Horsemen of Flirting in Star Wars.
After all these years, you're even more beautiful than ever.
Admit it, sometimes you think I'm all right.
You come from nothing, you're nothing. But not to me. I don't like sand.
During the filming of Jurassic Park, 1993, T-Rex was known to sweat profusely as it was his first major role in 55 million years. Can't wait for Godzilla vs. Kong. Who wins? If you don't love me at my, then you don't deserve me at my. This man is Haruo Nakajima, the original Godzilla suit actor. He is holding a model figure of the new Godzilla seen in the upcoming American film. Godzilla looks so happy. Oh my, it's him! Best day ever!
Where to hide Luke? Somewhere Anakin won't go. Sand!
The perfect toilet does not exist. Whoa, man, eat a Snickers. Why? Because you turn into the horror icon of a successful Spielberg movie when you're hungry? Better. Better. Tyrannosaurus Rex. When you wake up on October 1st. Adding ing to the end of a movie title, what is the movie plot now? Jurassic Parking, teaching dinosaurs how to drive.
What does this mirror do, Professor? It shows the deepest, most desperate desires of our hearts.
Students, I would like to introduce you to your new Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers. Sup. Paying $150 for 5 different sets of dice. Using Google's dice function and paying no money for your dice. D&D players. Sam choosing Frodo as the ring bearer for his wedding. What are you doing here? This is a Star Trek meme. You underestimate the power of my franchise, Captain. Have multiple rats. Post picture of one of them. Be berated by strangers for only having one rat. What? Mr. Sandman, bring me a rat. Make it the softest that I've ever pat.
I see you have cleaned my cage. It would be a shame if somebody messed it up.
The crime. The criminals. I saw this girl in the train station doing the pss, 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 pss sound to a subway rat, and I have never felt closer to another stranger in my life. Everyone's out there with human friends. Me. Look, I've made some friends. When are you going to have kids? Best I can do is a rat. Everyone else's rat photos. All my rat photos. Most people. Rats are gross. I'd never keep one as a pet. Me with my rat. When you ask your rats not to chew on something. A man from England floats on a river in a pumpkin which he himself raised. Wholesome smile. Cast it into the fryer! Destroy it! I let my husband label the spices, and this happened. I beg your parsley. I'm kind of a big deal. Oregano gangsta. It's go time. As a kid, did you ever knock on people's doors and run away before they could answer? Well, guess what? We are hiring. To all of the haters that said this day would never come. Excuse me, miss. My eyes are down here. At just the right angle, I can listen to the game. I got the Christmas tree, guys. And here we see a male elk hoping to impress a group of females by demonstrating how far his breath can be seen. So this is what a secret meeting of the elks looks like. Take me home, country roads. Rare image of an elk grazing in a mystical forest and stepping on a Lego.
You've come to the wrong neighborhood, pal.
You see my rack? It's real beautiful, isn't it?
Mind if I get a ride to the next valley over?
Barbarian logic. When charisma fails, strength check.
My roles out of combat. My roles during combat.
Diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease? Leeches.
Does this treatment actually work? Well, yes, but actually no. Make a perception check for me.
DM messing with their players.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Now, paranoid players, DM. Player DMing for the first time. Old DM. Take it, Crunk. Oh, feel the power. Oh, I can feel it. At my daughter's school, it's medieval day. Everyone else wore Disney princess dresses or homemade knight costumes. This kid marches to his own drum. Hashtag Plague Doctor, respect. That's a very nice everything you have there. It would be a shame if something were to happen to it. The greatest wizards always have spells named after them, like Melf's Acid Arrow, Mordenkainen's Faithful Watchdog, or Mr. Clean's Magic Eraser. Rolling a d10 and it lands on a 0, realizing that means 10. When your friend starts to cough. Remember this kid? This is him now. Feel old yet? Well, I'd have to guess that either a wizard rolled a 20 or a bard rolled a 1. When the DM kills off your beloved character and you have to roll up a new one. Is this one better? I made this one with my tears. Me waiting for flu season to start so my outfit becomes relevant again. If I am going to cure the plague, then let me do it fabulously. When you're trying to sleep, but your adventuring buddy just learned the dream spell. There is also a belt of hill giant strength if anyone wants to— Tibbs! What? Y'all are already yoked. This would be a minor bump for either of you. This is a game changer for me. He has a point. I'm good with this if you are. Can't lie, I want to see him grapple. Proceed. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Games! Me after a long day of curing sick patients. Finally put up my hummingbird feeders. Security camera sent me these. Neighbor thinks she's funny. Dude, I just spent $100 on my Halloween costume. Cosplayers. My body functions at its highest level when I am eating fresh in-season produce. Skull. Faux skull? Home Depot is selling a giant dragon that breathes fog that you can put in your yard for every day. My neighbors in the gated upscale HOA community I just moved into. Dear ghosts, if you can flicker lights and move stuff around, you can use a mop. Is it Halloween yet? I want some free candy. It's inaccurate plastic animal skeleton season again. Look, speaking as a necromancer, I want to address this. Sometimes you need some octopus help, so you can either sulk and lament that octopi don't have skeletons and just give up like a wuss. Or you can take the bones around you and shape them into an octopus like this one. It takes longer and maybe you have to use the remains of a bunch of different things, but boom, now you got an 8-legged skelly friend to help with dishes or whatever. You have to learn to be creative with the corpses you have, not the corpses you want. Thank you for coming to my dead talk. I don't know who needs to hear this, but a Reese's Pumpkin has 4 grams of protein. If there's anything I love more than a family costume, it's a solid dad joke. The army in one picture. Every good soldier needs a butt, kitty. Can't fall asleep in comfortable bed at 10 p.m. Sleep soundly on hard pavement in full gear at 12 noon. Hey specialist, you updating the first sergeant on our position? Hooah! Need air support. Follow your dreams.
Upward facing dog, now! Happy baby, now! Virabhadrasana, now! Downward facing dog, now! Recruiter said we'd get free yoga lessons. In this picture is one of the best and the brightest of the Air Force, and on the right is a pilot. I didn't see you at camouflage practice today. Thank you, sir. When they say, let's go, right when you open your MRE. Military. What my friends think I do. What my mom thinks I do. What society thinks I do. What my boss thinks I do. What I think I do. What I actually do. That's my mom. That's my dad. So if your mom is my mom, and my dad is your dad. I didn't see the Northern Lights, but I just like to be included. When you're shocked by the cosmic beauty of the underside on a few frying pans. Dance as if no one is watching. Sing as if no one can hear. Cook as if no one is eating. I asked my grandpa, who's a retired homicide detective, to babysit tonight. I wasn't disappointed. Feeling cute. Might take a bath and eat some chicken later at midnight. I don't know. Gonna tell my kids this is evil Yoda. The set for Kingston Falls is the same one used for Back to the Future 1985. Both movies were filmed in the Universal Studios backlot. So you're saying a gremlin could have snuck onto the DeLorean? Y'all so caught up in Baby Yoda that you forgot the OG adorable creature, Gizmo. So you can't feed a gremlin after midnight. Other than when it is midnight, isn't it really after midnight all the time? Originally, Stripe and Gizmo were the same character. Steven Spielberg insisted one of the gremlins be a good guy that the audience could identify with. Mogwais, a Christmas tradition since 1984. Receives a brand new pet for Christmas. Unfortunately, someone forgot to tell him the rules. The Gizmo puppets were particularly frustrating because they were smaller and thus broke down more. Consequently, to satisfy the crew, a scene was included in which the gremlins hang Gizmo on a wall and throw darts at him. This was included on a list that the crew created, known to them as the Horrible Things to Do to Gizmo list. So, if I don't follow these 3 really strict rules, my new pet will kill many people? Thanks for the great gift, Dad. Orange. Tangerine. Tangerine. Orange. Greenland, Iceland. Finally, a worthy opponent! One does not simply walk into Mordor. Well, we could just take the train. J.R.R. Tolkien's Mordor on the Orient Express.
I hear a new apprentice you have, Emperor. Or should I call you Darth Hideous?
You know it's officially spooky season when the cauldron light comes on. At least somebody is taking the hobbits to Isengard. Oh my, Fellowship of the Creed. Hide in the fridge, they said. You'll survive a nuclear blast, they said. If you were mine, I'd buy you wings every day. Oh wait, sorry, wrong person. Hold on, let's talk. If you fill a piñata with ketchup, you'll never have to host a children's party again. Follow me for more bad advice. Flutes players need to breathe. Flute players need to breathe. Flute players need to breathe. Flute players need to breathe. No. The softened part is where the flute players begin to die off, one by one. Those that make it to the end of the song go on to reproduce, ensuring the next generation of flute players is stronger. This is known as survival of the flutist. Forbidden to play Dungeons and Dragons with the squirrels. When mothers are alone with their babies. When fathers are alone with their babies. Children. Oh, there's a sleeping dad. Let's go ask it questions. If I have a daughter, I'm not playing dress up. Dads after having a daughter. My daughter went to my husband and said, Dad, have you heard of Pokemon?
and I have never seen him so happy. He busted out all his old cards and is in full education mode. And they said my engineering degree would be useless. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Before taking the kids to the beach, while at the beach with kids, leaving the beach with kids. Me taking credit for my kids' best qualities. When my child starts telling me a story, halfway through the story, this day is stressing me. I need a drink.
Here you go, Dad.
Hands me his milk. Got anything stronger?
Yep.
Mom, can you get Dad a chocolate milk? Thanks for holding me up all these years, Dad.
I will protect you with my life. Right after this episode of Star Trek.
You're walking around the house and you suddenly stop. Your toddler. 4-year-old me after realizing that 100 isn't the biggest number. Me telling my problems to my pet. My pet. Oh, that Pokemon phase won't last forever. Me, as an adult, packing my lunch for work. All roads lead to roads.
Again, the password is incorrect.
The beacon is lit! McGondor calls for aid!
Scurvy. When life doesn't give you lemons.
When they say to have a piece, make it count. Before Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving. No need to post your Thanksgiving food. We're all eating the same thing. Can't wait to make a huge Thanksgiving dinner so my child can eat one roll. The proper way to eat pumpkin pie. Call me a traditionalist, but I prefer my cranberry in its natural state in the shape of a can of dog food. I regret nothing. Nothing. That reaction that people give after watching your eating capacity on Thanksgiving. I am no cook, but I can follow the directions, which said to let the bird chill in the sink for a few hours. When you're 3 plates deep on Thanksgiving and Grandma says, "Smile for the camera, handsome!" How clingy is your child? Me. When you hear, "Mommy," for the 3,435th time within the hour. What? The debate that divided the world in 2008 versus the debate dividing the world in 2024. My outlet that has my TV, phone charger, DVR, surround sound, Wi-Fi router, lamp, headphone charger, fan, Nintendo Switch Lite charger, and my laptop plugged into it. If only there were more doors. The reason there's no sequel to Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is not that the movie failed to impress at the box office. The cast liked making the first film. They all said they want to return for a sequel, but each time they agree upon a date, someone ends up canceling at the last minute. I saw someone say that SpongeBob and Light Yagami have matching outfits, and I haven't slept well ever since. My new favorite photo. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore! Hi, sorry it took me 5 days to get back to your text. I myself am understaffed at the moment. It was like Chuck Norris went to Build-A-Bear and built a super army. Bodyguards are too mainstream. I'm bringing my gardener. Thorin, 1977, is aging well. 2012. Whom do you serve? They have taken the bridge and the second hall. We have barred the gates, but cannot hold them for long. The ground shakes. Drums in the deep. We cannot get out. A shadow moves in the dark. We cannot get out. They are coming. When you just want to sleep, but Isildur's heir forces you to fulfill your oath. Walked into a Home Goods today. Pretty sure they're a Team Rocket hideout. In case of fire, break glass.
Who's faster? The Lord of the Skies who lives in the clouds and flies through space. Speed 95. Cow. Speed 100. How is he not catching on fire? Maybe it's 'cause he's already ash. When your Pokemon has been asleep for 4 turns, stop it and wake up. Cats are roaming freely across our lands, unchecked, unchallenged, killing at will. Cats bearing the white hand of Saruman. Why didn't the Fellowship take the Bilbo bus to Mount Doom? The White Wizard is cunning. He walks here and there, they say, as an old man, hooded and cloaked. And everywhere his spies slip past our nets. When you run into a wild Pokemon and your brain is processing why it suddenly has a different color than usual. My Onix was knocked out and now I'm on my way to the Poke Center. You have my sword. And you have my bow. And my axe. We have to talk about your kleptomania, Frodo.
The age of men is over. The time of the potato has come.
Dragons in other series. Dragons in Pokemon. You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of anime. That's fair. Americans when their AC is set to 70. Europeans when their AC is set to 70. D&D players when their AC is set to 70. I am bulletproof. With all the dragons, griffins, pegasus, manticores, and wyverns flying around D&D, the probability of being pooped on during an adventure feels like it should be on a random encounter table. Sometimes we send this up to HQ for no reason. The hobbits, the hobbits, the hobbits, the hobbits to Isengard, the Isengard. It plays in his head over and over again like a million times. Imagine farting inside this. Apparently, Jimmy owed Jabba money. Harry Potter. Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. You're a computer, Harry. Ridiculous. Merry Christmas. Pippin Christmas. The perfect Christmas wrapping paper doesn't exist. Trees during Christmas. The birds in their nests. I was wondering why Mom had a severed toe as a Christmas ornament until I took closer inspection. Works one day a year, spends the rest judging you. Did you know you can tell the age of a fake Christmas tree by counting the rings of tape on the box? Peaceful manger scene. Or 2 T-Rex fighting over a table saw. Christmas is so much prettier when you have astigmatism. You say no sticks inside, yet you drag a whole tree in the house? Gloria, in eggshell sees Deo. 7 swans to rule them all, 6 geese to find them, 5 rings to bring them all, and in the pear tree bind them. What if whole Santa coming down the chimney thing is just a Muggle conspiracy to cover up the fact that Santa is a wizard traveling by flue powder? Hold up your present so I can see what you got. Thank goodness you're home. The Christmas tree fainted. When it's raining, but you're a Ghibli fan. Instead of calling your house cluttered, you can call it Studio Ghibli inspired. 59-year-old Tom Cruise. 23-year-old me. It's not easy being old. The happiest moment of my wedding was realizing that planning my wedding was over. When you're at a cake tasting and just want more free samples, so you act like you're not sure which flavor you like. Him. What kind of cake do you want for the wedding? Me. I want to run away, but like in Ghibli movie, Like, I take a block of cheese, a loaf of bread, and some apples and wander through the flower-specked mountains wrapped up in a shawl, and I happen to wander into a moving castle and fall in love with a cute wizard. Me, deep in the woods, dragging duffel bag of craft singles and hopelessly lost. Where's Totoro?
People who don't watch anime. People who watch anime. Ghibli movies.
Me at my best friend's wedding. When you asked your parents for their wedding guest list, do we really need to invite Kathy from Zumba? I want a small, tasteful wedding. No family, no friends, no groom, just me eating a big cake. Marriage is all about compromise. Me when the dance floor opens up at a wedding. When they announce the buffet is open. When she thinks it's only her wedding day, but you have to reinforce that it's yours too.
Eat whatever you want, and if anyone tries to lecture you about your weight, eat them too.
End up in an unwanted marriage after saving a cat. Hire a bureau to escape marrying the cat. Fall in love with the cat anyway. Fall in love with the cat anyway? I feel terrible, like there's a weight on my chest. A heart is a heavy burden. You are literally sitting on me. Jaws. Your first music lesson is complete. Why are there 21 cannons in the storage room? Tchaikovsky.
It's a surprise tool that will help us later.
Writes his own music, doesn't listen to it. Destroy their ears. Brass. My time has come. Babe, I swear I've changed. Altos gain their strength from drinking the tears of a soprano who did not get a solo. Treble. Bass. Musicians, if a pianist ever bullies you, just ask them if they can play this. Musicians' sheet music. Conductor's sheet music. Whenever I hear people say that classical music is boring, I just want to remind them that Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture called for a cannon to be fired a total of 16 times. Remove cattle from stage. Begin turning flame slightly higher and higher. When band director count-offs be like, 1 and 2 and measure 20, woodwinds only, sit up straight, not too loud, remember that sharp big breath and ready and go. How orchestra kids brush their teeth. It's okay. Bach, Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven, Schubert, Mendelssohn, Schumann, Brahms, Debussy, Ravel, they struggled too. How the sheet looks when you're sight reading. How it looks after you've practiced. When you've barely practiced and your teacher says, "Wow, I can tell that you've been practicing." Really? For classical guitar, I assume you need to pluck the note and then sprint towards the audience. When I'm sight reading and manage to play the first 2 notes right, oh yeah, it's all coming together. How long have you been playing your instrument? 7 years. Oh, so you must be really good at it then. What am I supposed to do? Get up and dance? Max fart. 5. Fart means speed in Sweden. How old is this spear? 5,000,008 years old. Wow, how can you be so precise? They told me it was 5,000,000 years old when I started working here. He has the hairstyle of Ariana Grande, my 6-year-old daughter on the Uruk-hai Aragorn fights at the end of The Fellowship of the Ring. Due to a decrease in cookie sales, the Girl Scouts switched to a more aggressive sales campaign. I'm pretty sure that's not the image they were planning to run with that story. Imperial Stormtrooper, 5'11". Metric Stormtrooper, 180 centimeters. If video games have taught me anything, rotating these will unlock the next room.
Orc ribs.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Please don't embarrass me. Parent. When the kids finally sleep in, but you can't enjoy it because you think something's wrong with them. You wanted a lifted truck, but your wife wanted a swing set for the baby. Problem solved. Parenting makes total sense when you're doing it, but probably seems weird from the outside. My wife just hid a pair of my toddler's pants because they were too much drama, and that explanation seemed totally reasonable to me. When you have to pretend you're not taking pictures just so you can get a decent picture of your kids. First time home alone with the kids, my wife asked for an update, so I sent her this. The parenting skill I'm most proud of is being able to shove a whole candy bar in my mouth and talk normally when a kid walks in. We need a bigger bed if the kids are going to be sleeping in it. Parents everywhere. Children sleeping in the bigger bed. My husband and I getting through a day of diaper explosions and tantrums. Parenthood. Trying to fit your adult life into a 2-hour block every night after your kids go to bed. That moment when it's so normal, you keep talking. Life with a toddler summed up in one image. No one makes more observations than a child sharing a stall with his mother inside a public restroom. Asked my 5-year-old to keep an eye on his sister while I served him dinner. I peek out of the kitchen and find him like this. Good night, honey.
Would you eat the moon if it were made out of ribs?
A quarter of a century ago, your computer had this sticker and you were preparing for the end of times. I don't think I want a new year this time around. I want a gently used year like 2015 or maybe 1998 if it's in good shape. Let's get dressed.
I do it myself.
20 minutes later. Look up so I can rinse your hair. Kids. Telling my toddler I'll do it in a minute. My toddler for the entire minute. When the reason I didn't sleep a wink asks me why I'm so tired in the morning. Do you have to poop?
No.
Are you sure? Toddler. Valentine's Day is around the corner, so if you're secretly in love with me, now would be the time to speak up. The only box of chocolates I want this Valentine's Day. Kisses, 5 cents. I'll take 20.
I would simply walk into Mordor for you.
What do single people call Valentine's Day? Happy Independence Day. Do I have a date for Valentine's Day? Yes, February 14th. Why doesn't Kylo celebrate Valentine's Day? 'Cause he's always been solo. The only gift I want this Valentine's Day. I got the dog heart-shaped cookies for Valentine's Day. Threw a mouthful of cookies.
The dog?
Love is in the air? Wrong. Nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide are in the air. What's better than having a boyfriend on Valentine's Day? Being single on February 15th. All the candy and wine is half off, and no one cares if you get fat. Current relationship status. Made dinner for 2, ate both. Oh, I shouldn't have. Things I love. You. You, but in a different color. Happy Valentine's Day. You complete mess. The way to my heart this Valentine's Day. Forever alone status. Even Dove gave up on me. Happy Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. Look at all this money I'm not spending. Hold up! Before Valentine's Day is over, does anyone want to confess their love for me? If I worked at a restaurant on Valentine's Day, I would put a fake engagement ring in every girl's drink just to look at her act like. Then watch the dude sit there like. Harry and Ron complaining about the polyjuice potion wearing off too soon. Hermione. You sneak into range to hear the hag's speech.
There is still food in your bowl. You aren't starving.
Somewhere online once suggested I read Aristotle the same way I read Chipotle, and now I'm ruined. Why does no one live in this part of Africa? People don't like sand. It's rough and coarse and irritating, and it gets everywhere. I'm an elf. Well, technically I'm human, but I was raised by elves. I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm seeing names again. The good news is I quite like this scarf Nathanage fellow. Nobody even said thank you. Pokemon trainers be like, "Oh, how did you guess I was a ghost specialist?" Going to the dentist in an hour. I need to see a dentist. One of my canines is getting loose. Dentist. So, how's everything going? Me. Wisdom tooth. Not that wise. Trust me, dentists are just as scared of you as you are of them. When was the last time you flossed? Bro, you were there. Here's your problem. You have 2 cavities. You need a crown. Finally, someone who understands me. When the dentist says you have a cavity, understand paranoid people better by following them around. I don't want to be a problem. You won't be any. As it would turn out, Anakin would, in fact, be a problem. I like to play this game called Nap Roulette. I take a nap and not set an alarm. Will it be 20 minutes or 4 hours? Nobody knows. It's risky, and I like it. Your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips, yet you can tiptoe, but not tip finger. The villain's faithful pair of henchmen. When the invite says, dress accordingly. Rick'em, rack'em, rock'em, rake, stick that sword and do that snake! It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Do not be too eager to deal out death in judgment. Even the very wise cannot see all ends.
Otherwise I would have already killed Pippin. Creating a strong password. Using it for every single site I log into. We do not throw perfectly good food away in this house. We put leftovers in a Tupperware and let it go bad, then throw it out. Only gamers will understand. Video games be like, the path is blocked, you must find another way. Ancient Egyptians placing health packs, weapons, and ammo around their tombs so Lara Croft can use them one day. If video games have taught me anything, this cat has a side quest to offer me. I know what I'm supposed to do here. Lamps in video games are using real electricity. Nobody. Minecraft villages. Who let Bethesda program Florida? Just bought a safe for valuables. Luckily, Fallout has taught me exactly what I should put in. There's something behind this wall.
You murdered my cat.
No. If I may, Professor, I think Harry Potter was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Earlier that night.
Good job, Potter. That cat was more annoying than your father.
Before he died, Adam West lived in Ketchum, Idaho. This is from the Ketchum phone book during that time. West Adam, see Wayne Bruce, millionaire. Wayne Bruce, millionaire. Please consult crime fighters in the yellow pages. Crime fighters, see Batman, white pages. Batman, see West Adam.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
Over 8,000 years old.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi. Chris Hemsworth is basically Anakin Skywalker. He was trained by Qui-Gon. He worked for Mace Windu. He dated Padme. Okay, the alligator attempts to grapple your face with its face. Roll me an opposed strength check.
Can he beat a 23?
No, so I guess it's your turn?
Yeet.
Did you say eat?
I said yeet.
Oh, I mean you won the grapples, so roll me a strength check for distance. Rolls a 20.
All of it.
Me, aged 14, reading Tolkien. Hobbits are considered children until they're 30? How funky. Fantasy world building. This is so different from us humans. Me, aged 25. Oh, I get it now. Me, aged 34. Actually, the hobbits might be rushing things a bit. How to spot a polymorphed dragon. This Wolverine movie looks amazing.
I love him.
Look, this Ditto is trying really hard. What is Venusaur doing? His best. The chance of the 2032 asteroid hitting Earth is 3.1%. Shiny hunters. Snorlax avoided the attack. Visible confusion? Ah, yes, the 4 legendary birds. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Arcanine. Applies to a photography school. Here's my portfolio.
Aloha Fifi, hafa hi ho, have he free? Yes.
Me with no Master Balls approaching any legendary Pokemon. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. Snorlax in any franchise game. Snorlax in Hisui. My strongest Pokemon battling. My weakest Pokemon with XP share.
Ha! Die, trash!
Steel fire. Electric. Flying. Water. Ground. Ice. Rest of my clothes. My socks! This Mulan cosplay is perfect! If R2 is short for R2-D2, Chewie is short for Chewbacca, and Annie is short for Anakin, what's Luke short for? No idea. A stormtrooper. Frodomorphosis. Times Square with adblock enabled. When you're browsing eBay for Star Wars memorabilia and see someone selling the high ground from Episode 3. When you leave the potatoes in the bag for a month. It's not easy to find the Thieves Guild hideout. Thieves Guild hideout. Once you see Cookie Monster, you can't unsee it. This is what a blade of grass looks like under a microscope. Next time you take a walk outside, know that the grass is happy to see you. Your inbox is full. I think something's wrong with my dragon fruit. You are Batman.
Who told you?
My elderly cat is bullying me into going to bed, and I'm listening because he is wise and I respect his authority. Have we checked all food to see if exploding them makes them into something better, or did we just stop with corn? You're in charge of dinner tonight. Say no more. Have you heard of a swear jar? I started a mom jar. The kids have to put in $1 every time they say mom. I'm up to $59 million. We started 30 minutes ago. When you have a feeling that some eldritch being is watching you. Serpent Sorted Kamehameha! Greetings, it's a pleasure to meet you. The DM after killing the beloved NPC and then immediately putting us into a boss fight. This ride only stops in an emergency. Crying is not an emergency. Healer. Tank. Paladin class. Did you just take both pills?
Whomever convinced the mimic to look like my coffin, well played.
When you try to make your PCs back off and rethink their strategy, but the warlock decides he wants to be a hero and you have to make a giant side quest to revive him. Whatever it is my players are doing. The simple plot I planned. When someone asks to borrow your player's handbook, but their fingers are covered in Cheeto dust. Instead of rolling dice, buy a copious amount of Chinese fortune cookies. Every time you need to roll, read aloud your fortune and let your dungeon master decide what it means.
I open the door.
What about the guard?
What about him?
Where are all the male hags in D&D? I want an old, salty grandpappy that rides a 1950s push mower which he refuses to replace. Don't touch the thermostat in the grandpappy hut. It's a mimic. The barkeeper asked why we carried weapons on us in the bar. I said, mimics. The barkeeper left, the party left, the table left. We killed the table. It was a good time. Actual footage of Mr. Darcy meeting Elizabeth Bennet. Mrs. Bennet at the beginning of Pride and Prejudice. Why is no one married? I specifically requested it. Mr. Bennet realizing this is his circus, and they are his monkeys. This is my favorite piece of literary criticism of all time. Just a bunch of people going to each other's houses. Charlotte Lucas. I'm engaged to Mr. Collins. Elizabeth Bennet. Roses are red. I don't like dances. Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your circumstances? Marry me? No. I'm sorry, is this some sort of peasant joke that I'm too rich to understand? You can replace the cast of any movie with the Muppets, but you keep one of the human actors. What movie and which human do you keep?
I love you. Most ardently.
Are you okay, daughter? No. I've just found out famous Pride and Prejudice hand flex scene was improvised.
Happiest day of my life.
My parents invited all their friends and family to a costume party. Then, when people got there, they found out it was actually their wedding. Luke, I've been living as a hard-working moisture farmer. Leia, I've been living as a princess. Luke.
Sooner or later, this skeleton would have fallen by itself, and 10,000 goblins would have gone on the warpath to find that they had wasted their time. Voldemort was like a teenage girl. He had a diary, a tiara, a special cup, a pet he adores, and obsessed with a famous teenage boy. What if Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny are actually human-shaped Pokemon, and that's why there are so many of them that look identical and have the same name? My son has a Thomas the Train bed, and now I'll never sleep again. Your first game is Among Us. Your first game is Grand Theft Auto 5. Minecraft, Guitar Hero, Pokemon, Sonic, Mario, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Pong. My family watching a movie. Me explaining where we have seen each actor before. Gotham would have a lot less supervillains if they put safety covers over those giant chemical vats. That city doesn't need Batman. It needs OSHA.
What do you mean I'm not a bear? I have all the qualifications.
Original image. Cropped image. Should I take my dog to the vet?
I would.
That's a nice car. But where did my van go?
Your pun is polarizing. Borderline unbearable.
Leather armor is the best for sneaking because it's literally made of hide. These noodles are a bit chewy. First day of 4th grade.
Little old to be in the 4th grade, but congrats on trying to finish your education. When I eat alphabet soup, I only eat the vowels.
Why?
Sometimes. Do you have any books on turtles?
Hardback.
Yeah, with little heads.
One breakfast was gifted to the race of men who above all else desire bacon sandwiches. But they were all of them deceived, for another breakfast was made. Dear automatic flushing toilet, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I wasn't done yet. Why don't we all introduce our characters? This is my human fighter, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. You guys are not gonna believe this. I must keep the ring secret and safe at all costs. Frodo every 5 minutes. Louis referenced mitochondria, and I immediately said to my 4-year-old, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, like a sleeper agent who just heard their activation phrase.
Son? Dad? Son? Dad? Is that mine? Yup.
Snape. Look closely.
How long until the wife finds out?
When is it going to be the other way around?
Does this count?
Do you think, in a pinch, Jim Henson ever used Kermit as an oven mitt? Up! How did you do that? It's up, not up! You dare use my own spells against me, Potter. Trying the Oblivion remake, character creation is going well. Elves are gorgeous now. The people of the Rothgarian and Dragontail Mountains, Orcish armorers are prized for their craftsmanship. Orc troops in heavy armor are among the finest in the Empire and are fearsome when using their berserker rage. My beautiful creation. Oblivion is so back. Oblivion is so back. They gave me too much power. This is my magnum opus in Oblivion Remaster, Sir Vancelot. My beautiful boy. Happy to report it's the same as it ever was. When you drink the wrong Polyjuice potion, and now you have to destroy 1 ring instead of 7 Horcruxes. If your Disney princess cooks, loves playing with kids, talks to animals, and has a heart of gold, that's no Disney princess. It's Kronk. Spellcasters hate this fact, but if you just stick your fingers in their mouth while they're casting a spell with a verbal component, it's literally more effective than a counterspell. This also works with pinning their hands against the wall when they're trying to use somnatic components. Basically, if you make out sloppy style while pressed against the wall, the spellcasters can't do anything. I think I hate everyone in this picture. What if I did a vicious mockery and based on how hurtful it is, you tell me what dice to roll? Sure, I'll allow it. You're none of your best friends' best friend. So what do I roll? He's dead. Oh great, everyone make a whiz save. I have been in Lord of the Rings filming for so long. Now that it's over, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. Have you ever considered piracy? You'd make a wonderful pirate in the Caribbean. This is either madness or brilliance. When the party is getting ready to fight Strahd and the cleric uses create food. Vampire Slayer, garlic cheddar. Even Witch Kings need an occasional break. Considering that there are no traces of humans in the film, The Lion King could be set in any era, whether it's the Bronze Age, the 21st century, or a cyborg future where humanity has gone extinct. What movie would end the fastest if all the characters behaved logically? Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry, did you put your name in the goblet?
No.
Okay, then you aren't going to participate.
But it's a magical contract.
Yes, but we never really explained what that even means. Besides, you are a minor and can't enter into a contract. We know that Voldemort is still alive and in the shadows, and it is super suspicious that you somehow entered the Triwizard Tournament without even meaning to. Ergo, this could be one of his cunning plots. It's likely that one of Voldemort's servants have infiltrated the school, so I will start personally investigating every teacher and student. Also, I am the greatest wizard to ever live, and I have the Elder Wand, so I can probably find a way to break the magical contract too, anyways.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Professor Dumbledore. Don't forget to feed your blanket. I've played so many JRPGs that if I walked into this room, I'd fight the Pope. Maybe take out his 2 healers first. When I play tank, protecting my party is never on my mind.
I just want to be the center of attention and laugh maliciously at the enemies as their pitiful attacks bounce uselessly off my mitigation. I do protect my party, but only because they can't help me win if they're dead, and they'll praise me afterward for being a good tank.
New class, Brat Tank. Where does your magic come from?
The power of music. Faith in a higher power.
My ancestral bloodline.
It's all thanks to the books at my local library. The only objective way to measure the quality of any character creation in games is, can I make Waluigi in this?
Wah. Wah never changes.
Remember when Herc and Meg canonically went to see Oedipus on their first date? So, fun myth fact since I haven't seen it mentioned, Megara's father was Creon, king of Thebes, who was the brother of Jocasta. Her and Oedipus were cousins. Their first date was going to see her family's drama being aired out on stage. This dragon attacks your city. Who you calling? Donkey.
This whole video is wrong. They broke into my mines and knocked over my bridge, but somehow I'm the bad guy.
Jango Fett, bounty hunter. Boba Fett, bounty hunter. Ed Fett, accounting. Imagine stabbing someone with this knife. It would instantly cauterize the wound so the person wouldn't bleed, so it's not very useful. If you want information, it is. And above, in order, we see a Gryffindor, a Ravenclaw, and a Slytherin. Why would you stab a person when you can have toast? There's the Hufflepuff. I came home and my dog peed a little because he was happy to see me. None of my friends pee when they see me. I'm surrounded by fakes. Password. Caput Draconis. Your password needs to be at least 16 characters long, include at least uppercase character, at least one number, and at least one special character. Kid starts drowning in chocolate river. The kid! The parents! Willy Wonka. The Oompa Loompas! Thought for the day. Why bother wearing camouflage on the forest moon of Endor when you're gonna take a huge gold shiny droid with you?
You enter a large cave. The orcs led you here. Now before you lies 3 paths. 1.
I jump into the water.
You can't keep jumping into the water. There is no water here.
Are there any clams?
Stop asking that.
I cast Detect Clan.
That's not a spell.
How did it come to this?
Well, sire, the next time someone with a name like Grima Wormtongue wants to fill out a job application. Me, saves video game. Me, did I save? I better save again, just to be sure. Completing a dungeon in one session. Spending an hour IRL deciding whether or not to open a door. Our cat Hector just casually hanging out with the frickin' SWAT team. I was looking at this gif and just started bursting out laughing because Luke doesn't even come close to kicking him. He's just like, look at my new Gucci boots. There's too much style! Boss battle! Who has the best shooting face? Luke, Leia, Padme, Rey. Tolkien comes back and says,
It's pronounced Jandalf.
Then promptly dies again. My party. Hostile animals. Is this a tameable pet?
So you and the dwarf compete on kill counts? True. Can I play? Sure, what's the best you've done? With a single spear throw, I slew a mama-kill driver who then drove his beast into another, killing everyone on both creatures. It was truly awesome. That only counts as 1.
When you turn a stormtrooper's helmet upside down, they are much less serious looking. Belle and Beast's child. Desperately trying to trick myself into doing some work. Harry Potter and the role of accounting in public expenditure and monetary policy in the 1st century ad Roman Empire.
Atari 2600 art.
The game. If the Queen in Snow White has magic powers and can turn herself into an old hag, why doesn't she turn herself into someone more beautiful than Snow White? Imagine a Muggle-born Hogwarts student during a Yule Ball enchanting various musical instruments so that they play the Macarena, and all the Muggle-born swarming to the center of the Great Hall and baffling the entire room with their synchronized dancing in "Hey, Macarena!" Imagine! How did I never realize I wanted this until now? How?
Did you hear that? What was that?
Probably something that finally broke off and fell down one of the wells.
This place is old. Fool of a took!
You know what? Let's go check it out.
When the Minecraft movie ends and you've survived your first chicken jockey.
One does not simply forget P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Now that she follows me to the bathroom, might as well be useful. Eye of Rabbit, Harmstring hum, turn this water into rum.
I need this boy in my crew.
I think the dressmakers were like, hey, listen up. We will only have this chance once. This princess was used to dragging behind her a train of hair. A veil this long will be nothing. Only once, I tell you, we must take advantage of this opportunity. Wanted, someone to climb into this hole in the library for us. Job requirements, limber, trusting, has not read The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. At Luna's wedding, the entire front row was reserved for someone, but no one was sitting there. After the ceremony, Harry came up to her and asked, "Who was sitting in that row?" To which Luna replied, "What do you mean, who? Of course, my mom, your parents, Sirius, and Remus. They were your dad's best friends, right? Of course, Tonks, Fred Weasley, and Mad-Eye Moody, and over there are Dumbledore and Professor Snape. I hope they enjoyed the wedding." She smiled and waved at the empty seats where no one seemed to be sitting.
Lots of health potions and supplies just laying around here. Game just auto-saved. Something's about to go down.
Hey everyone, look what I found in Saruman's storehouse.
A magic sword, forged of light.
Even better, a knife that can cut bread and make toast at the same time.
Hobbits.
Hey, where'd that ugly druid get off to again?
Beats me, it's so annoying and irresponsible when she disappears without telling anyone.
She needs to bathe more often too, the stench is awful. Druid in the tree next to them. We saw you write "I love Weasley" on your parchment yesterday. It's not Ginny because you're a girl, not Ron because you have standards, not Percy because he's a prat, not Charlie because you've hardly even met him, and it's not Bill because he is married. So, which one of us is it?
I'm Bond, James Bond.
I'm Dumbledore, Brian Dumbledore, Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore.
Hey, are you sleeping? Yes, now shut up. A bard can kill a level 1 wizard with a yo mama joke.
Well, that's the end. Goodbye.